Alrighty, hello. Okay, I set up this stream before I went out to dinner and I got home just in time. So, pretty sure I did set up a meeting for if you want to call in and help me test out voice. That would be sweet. If you join in that meeting, I'm going to keep you muted until I know that you're there. So, look in the description for a link to the meeting, or I'm going to put that in the chat right now. So thanks if you're watching. I am just testing out all my stuff here. Had some issues with audio levels, so that's one thing I'm troubleshooting. I think I got it pretty good earlier today, or technically yesterday. So I have another song to play from my friend's band Ginger and the Gents, and I'm going to play that in a second. But yeah, this has been really fun. I've done like 5 of these this week and it's been working out good. So I'm just super fortunate that I've been able to be motivated enough to do these at all, because I got a lot of thoughts on my mind always, and I like to share them. So alright, I am going to go to a song by Ginger and the Gents. This is more their traditional style. If you heard the song New Eyes, that's a rather new song, and this one I'm going to play is called Indisputable, and I just love this band. They are great. They're good people. Oh, weird. It's not working. My bad. Well, I'll play it. The audio will come through.
Suffering, happiness, moments of just the way you are. You're perfect, perfectly imperfect, just the way you are. Yeah. Don't forget, you were made from the stars. Oh, you're my fault, baby. It's okay, baby, it's okay. We all fall apart. You, beautiful. It's indisputable. Perfect just the way that you are. Yes, you are. Don't forget you were made from the stars. Don't you forget it, baby. No, don't you forget. Don't you forget it. No, don't you forget it. No, baby, don't you fall.
Sweet. That's Ginger and the Gins from one of their, let's see, this video. It's a lyric video, and earlier I had it working where I could get it up on screen, but for some reason, maybe when my computer went to sleep, I didn't check if I could get that video source to come up, and it's being a little quirky. So yeah, still just trying to troubleshoot some shit, but yeah, they rock. They're playing down like an hour away from Salt Lake tomorrow, and I was just hanging out with my buddy from that band, and I was like, I'm probably not gonna make it tomorrow. They're doing like a fundraiser for veterans show. So, anyways, I told him I was using his music for my streams. So hopefully YouTube doesn't have a problem with that. It's not like copyrighted or whatever, as far as I know, through those traditional studios. They produce and put out the music themselves. So they're definitely awesome for doing their music for the love of it. And, I think it's kind of a bummer that great musicians can't like make it or whatever, but it also shouldn't be the qualifier for you doing art to like, get rich. I think we've been discussing this idea of fulfillment outside of some of these, superficial material things. And I just watched this great movie, Mr. Nobody, and it was really long and weird, but it was cool. I'm glad that I watched it. It's 2 hours and 18 minutes long, and had a lot of weird, quirky surprises in it, and just kind of reflected upon, you know, life. No matter what choices we make, they're always like end up having some value. So I suggest watching Mr. Nobody. It was really cool. But anyway, I'm probably not going to do too long of a stream because I want to figure out this issue that I just stumbled upon where I can't share my screen from my one video source that was working the last 2 days. So Anyway, yeah, I'm so lucky that I've got CJ joining all my streams. You're amazing, and we are going to do a talk here soon. um, the last two streams I've done with testing out the meeting room, and both CJ and Mark have talked about very similar ideas, especially when it comes to like recovery and that kind of fellowship. And like, it's not that it isn't good to have AA, but there might be other options that are more suitable for some people. I was always very reluctant to join something like AA for a number of reasons, but I hope to have CJ and Mark together in a chat soon. Maybe we'll do that someday. I gotta check in with those guys and coordinate a time. We could do them separately as well, but I think that would be really nice to just discuss specifically the program that CJ's been involved with, whatever he might share to enlighten us. I would be so honored to have him come on and talk to us, and he agreed to expound on that a little bit more. And I've had a couple friends reach out and say they've been watching the shows after the fact when they're on the replay, so that just means a lot to me. This is always going to be very personal, from the heart, and I don't know, I'm just compelled to do this, and I feel like part of it is a sort of video journal, something that my kids can look at to get some context for what's going on in the world when, you know, they were younger. And for me, just processing everything as it comes. And hey, Woolly Samoth, you're in the chat. Is that my Crystal? Nice to have you on the chat. So anyways, I'm just looking at my live chat here, and I don't recognize this handle, but Sam. Oh my god, my man Sam, how'd you find me? Crystal. Oh, that's my alter ego. I see I'm sober right now, so I don't I don't reply to yeah, I've got one of the Ginger and the Gents band members in my chat right now. That's fucking awesome. Dude, Sam, it threw me off because one of my friends that's been watching my streams, that's her nickname is Crystal. It's not her real name either. But Sam and I have a good old joke about he always calls me Crystal when he sees me, and I joke with him that's my drunk alter ego. But yeah, I was just hanging out with Jesse, and I told him I'm not going to the show tonight, so damn it. That's 3 Ginger and the Gents shows I've missed this year, but otherwise I've been to all of them. So yeah, I'm hoping Sam doesn't have a problem with me playing their music on my shows, because I love it. Yeah, old joke. It makes sense. You're an old man, so. But I love you guys. I am so lucky that I have, you know, music in my life that is like, it's so personal, and I get to know these people, and, you know, you can see that they're playing it because they love it, you know, they love each other. And there's my crystal shaman. Yeah, this is awesome. So this is a record, 3 people watching live in my chat. Wow, I don't know what to do. I might have to ignore the chat completely if I'm gonna speak coherently for a stream. But I'm so glad y'all are here. So yeah, you know, uh music is amazing because um you know, just what it gives you, you know, you can carry it with you through all the good and bad times. But I've always had a real connection with local music, especially. And it's really something to see people that uh, are friends playing together, and they're dedicated to each other. They're a family. And you see that, and you see their loyal followers. And it's just a really beautiful thing, and it's really sustained me through a particularly difficult time personally this last year, just getting to go out and see that there's so many decent people out there. And you know, sometimes the news of the world can make you feel otherwise. Struggles in our personal lives, you know, can get us down. But yeah, that's something I've really just been so grateful to be able to look forward to these shows. And last week, Ginger and the Gents played with another awesome band, Cargo Cult, and I just found out the Cargo Cult is been getting into the studio and recording their music. And that's what I really admire about Ginger and the Gents as a band, because they've been investing their own money uh, and time to record these great tracks in local studios and produce music. And they have such a great stage performance. And they have really high quality recordings. Like, their catalog goes pretty deep now after all these years. So it's really great. And I'm excited for my other friend's band because they just had to replace their guitar and bass player. And these 2 new guys came in. They jumped right in to the band, and I've seen a couple of their shows with the new lineup so far, just the last couple months, and they're awesome, and they're recording their music and hopefully getting it out. So I'd like to share some Cargo Cult stuff soon as well. But yeah, I'm just trying to get this figured out. I've always wanted to produce something of my own creatively, so I'm trying to figure out OBS. Earlier I had it dialed in that I could pull up and share a screen from my browser, but that source seems to be broken for me right now, so I don't know what's up with that. But holy cow, having Sam here, that's amazing. I can't believe it. Now I'm really embarrassed, actually. People I know in real life watching, oh my god. But let's see. You know, YouTube's so weird. You search Ginger and the Gents, and a lot of it is like these old videos. And then let me look up the New Eyes album. There's another song I want to play. know what I want to play. Oh yeah, Crystal shared with me this awesome band called Glass Beams. I'm not going to take the risk of trying to play them on my stream, but I just sent Jesse that that show that Crystal sent me the other day, and then I was coming home and I called him and I was like, "You gotta watch that. It's so good." But yeah, Glass Beams, they're freaking awesome band out of Australia. If you've ever seen on YouTube, there's a KEXP radio station based out of Seattle, and they have live shows from in their studio of another band I really like, All Them Witches. And then Crystal just shared with me this Glass Beams show, and they got this new studio, so they bring bands in for like a 20-minute set, and the studio's awesome. It's like a LED light backdrop, but it's like nothing I've ever seen elsewhere. It's really cool. So this is one of my favorite songs from Ginger and the Gents too. This one's called Do You Dare.
To the end.
Sweet, I figured out how to bring that slide back up. I just forget that if I look at another tab in that window, it pulls up my silly avatar. I drew that with crayon like 20 years ago. That's my free spirit. So yeah, cool. This has been awesome because I've been stumbling through using OBS, and thanks to having people live and giving me feedback, I can adjust my audio levels without a real producer. And I scheduled this in hopes that I would actually be able to make it right at 1 a.m. and I literally walked through the door at like 12:59. So that's really sweet. We've been running like 30 minutes. I don't know if anybody wants to actually call into this meeting. I believe I put a link in the chat as well as in the description for the video, and you don't have to talk. I'm setting that up for all these streams just in case somebody wants to come on and talk about something. And I had CJ and Mark, 2 different streams, call in, which was awesome because I think we figured out how to balance that audio as well. But yeah, this has been really fun. I used to do these just straight off a Chromebook with no broadcast software whatsoever. And I'm really lucky that OBS exists because it's super. I mean, they have a lot of bells and whistles you can use with it, but it's actually really intuitive for like a simple thing. So I'm fucking grateful that works. But I just played Do You Dare. You can actually buy the CD, I think. I have a CD from that album. All 7 tracks are amazing. Let's see. Here's another one. This one's fucking great too. All the songs are great.
Lately I've been thinking about how we got to where we are right now. In the 21st century, still repeating
Okay, sweet. Another one of my favorite tracks from Ginger and the Gents. So if you listen to the New Eyes song, it's very different. But they just got heart, man. And that's what I'm all about. Yeah, and this person, his name is Guy. He drives down to these Salt Lake shows from a town like 100 miles away, and he is dedicated to bringing this authentic fucking cowbell. And he's such a cool old man. I mean, he rocks out. He'll go to like multiple shows a week. Um, he's amazing. It's so fun when Guy is at the shows. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of this music with the kids too, and I got to take them out to one of the all ages shows they played this summer, and it was fun to watch them rock out. So I took the kids to the first time they'd seen him play live, and my son is 8, and he's like, "Oh, I've heard this music." It was really cute. But Salt Lake is an interesting town, but we have a lot of really nice small venues, good for these local bands, and gives people an opportunity to play, not just be a house band locally, but they get to play all about the valley and beyond. So it's pretty fun. And I've driven pretty far to see these guys play for sure. Yeah, and Crystal says Glass Beams is coming to Salt Lake in August. They are playing at a giant venue in West Valley City, which isn't technically too far from where I live, but I hate that venue. It's such a pain in the ass anytime I've seen shows there. But it might be worth it to see Glass Beams play live. I very rarely attend any big shows, honestly, but I got some time. August is a long ways away, so that might be pretty cool. I'm glad I figured out how to get my screen back, my browser window back up. And yeah, these test runs have been pretty fun. Crystal in the chat, she introduced me to a gentleman named Bruce McDonald, and his dreams I've been getting really into this week, and it's so interesting because I've been talking about parroting and how you can kind of get a sense of people's politic just like the first few words that come out of their mouths, and that usually is a good indicator for how much you want to actually engage with them. Like I like to talk to people with different opinions just out of curiosity, and but I always have a lot of thoughts rolling around in my mind, and I'm always trying to figure out how to articulate them in ways that make sense to other people. And I've been having some really cool conversations with people out and about in real life. And I figured that people aren't as like hyperbolic in real life as they tend to be online. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it seems like everybody's just trying to sort of get attention. So that makes sense that they're going to kind of go to an extreme with their conversations. What I like about Bruce McDonald is I just have a sense he's really coming from the heart. And I've been listening to all his podcasts. I've been listening to almost every single one. I don't know if I missed one, if he sorry, if he did one tonight. But let me check that out actually. He did one 4 hours ago that I missed, so I'll have to catch up with that one. But this dude, Bruce McDonald, he's so nice. I started listening to him just this week because my friend Crystal said to check him out. And what I love about it is he's articulating things that I've been thinking about. And I feel like I'm parroting him in all my streams I've been doing this week. But I was reflecting on that, and it's just one of these, I guess, synchronicities, or you just find your like-minded people somehow in this crazy big world. It shrinks down really small because of these means of communicating online to people that thankfully speak English, but they're all over the world. And he's a Canadian expat living in Costa Rica. And, thanks to connections with people, I was able to finally discover him, and he has a lot of content that I had been sleeping on, and finally I've been catching up with it. And I was able to reach out to him, and he sent me some links for audiobooks that he's recorded, which I listened to one all the way through, and then I just started a new one earlier today. And he's just so gracious, speaking to him, even just limitedly through messages. But he was just so receptive to sharing more of his work with me. He does have books available for purchase, including audiobooks on Amazon, Bruce McDonald. And then he's on YouTube and Rumble and does some live streams now. And so I've been trying to catch up with all of those. He had some pre-recorded videos that are a little bit older. And then I think about 4 months ago, he started being able to do lives. And I've been checking those out. And I mean, the synchronicities are insane because he's talking about things that I've journaled about and thought about. And it's just wonderful. And he's not one of these folks everybody wants to be popular, I'm sure, in their heart. They think that they want to be. But I've been discovering just the value of having maybe fewer but more quality connections with people. And I think that's just so fulfilling and wonderful to have. So he has a very small channel, but loyal followers, as I've become one recently. So yeah, I'll definitely have to check out the stream he did earlier tonight. Oh, you sent a link to him? That's so funny. Yeah, because my very first podcast was like totally dedicated to him. I mean, it was literally called the same thing as one of his podcast, Repo Man. But I thought that was an awesome synchronicity because in his stream Repo Man, he talks about the film, and then he also mentions this this author, Michael P. Masters, and Bruce mentions a podcast that Michael P. Masters was on, talking about perhaps aliens are future humans time traveling, and that's suggested in the film Repo Man. So I just thought that was really cool that I had just received those books last month from Michael Masters. And so yeah, once again, like, I think it's affirming when you feel sort of isolated or you feel like your thoughts are unusual, but then someone else is saying something similar that you resonate with. And I think Bruce has a really great call to action to live from the heart, and it doesn't really matter what your religious doctrine or belief system is. Your cosmology doesn't matter so much as just your if you are coming from the heart, then your sentiment is going to ring true. If people are willing to receive it, they will. And I think that's more important than ever with just the clown world that we're living in. It's not all terrible, you know? And there's always a silver lining, you know, there's always a ray of sunshine. And you just, I was thinking about this for a while, that there can be beauty all around you, but if you're not looking for it, if you're thinking that everything that goes wrong is because of somebody else, and you're not taking accountability for yourself, and how you affect the world around you, then it can be impossible to see the beauty, you know. And you and someone else may be looking at the same thing in the same direction and get a completely different perspective, and that can be good. You know, we don't want to live in a homogenized world, I don't think. However, I think the good vibes being raised up is really important. And there's this idea of the energy vampire, and I think that vampire is a metaphor for this, you know, energy suck that you can walk into a room and feel the vibe. And a lot of our communication is nonverbal, and yet, you know, our perception is that everybody's just shouting at each other. And yeah, like, life is tough, and there's difficult situations, problems we may all need to solve, but I don't think we solve them when we're shouting. Now, sometimes you have to yell to get somebody's attention. I've always told my kids that when I get the most upset and mad, it's at them in particular. It's usually because they're scaring me. I'm terrified that they're going to hurt themselves. And so, yeah, sometimes you need to really, like, say, hey, wake up, pay attention, don't run in the road, look both ways, you know. But I've just been mostly trying to keep a kind of even temper, because it seems more conducive to maybe actually reaching somebody, keeping it calm and cool is a better vibe. But I like to have fun. I like to be jovial, and that's just my tendency. But yeah, when you feel like nobody understands you, when, you know, shit's happening to you, I feel like we probably do have the power to be the light for ourselves, to illuminate, and you know, I'm just very, very fortunate that people have found me. I've found them, and I've been very, very much tuned in lately to the fact that, yeah, for whatever reason, I'm compelled to say certain things to people, and because I have a sense that they'll get it. And it can be really intimidating sometimes, but I'll just try and say it out loud. And I've been pleasantly surprised that people are receptive to it. So it's good to have support, because then you're motivated to keep doing more. I don't have the kids this week, so I was going to do some of these streams not so late at night. The dogs are gone too. I share custody with my dogs and my kids. So we will be perhaps doing some streams before midnight, like I have done this week. They've been super late and I've been really low energy. But tonight I was pretty amped up because I got to eat some enchiladas and watch a movie with my friend and had a blast tonight. I missed a friend's birthday party I was going to go to, but I sort of had this tentative dinner that I didn't want to blow off because that's been a pretty fun routine. My friend and I basically go to the same restaurant every time we go out. It's our favorite place. And I love it. It's great. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I'm so lucky that I have friends like Ginger and the Gents in my town. You guys do so much for people. I can see it when people are watching you. I watch your crowd during the shows, and it's also such a diverse crowd, and yet they're all like very sweet people, and I've been so grateful to become friends with the band, but then also make friends with your fans. It's been awesome. And then I'm so lucky to have friends that I've never met in real life, but somehow we have these connections and we we just vibe, and it's incredible. So it's tough times, but it's also amazing times, and I am just gushing with love. So thank you everybody, and thanks for helping me dial in troubleshooting my audio stuff. That's really awesome. And I think most of my streams I'm going to be setting up these meetings, so I'd be very interested in hearing about any topics that you might be interested in discussing. If you're willing to come on and share something about something that you're interested in, I'd really like to learn from others. And I don't necessarily want to make this a podcast where I'm doing like reactions to like videos and content, but I think it's really cool. I could share music that I like from my friends. So thanks, Sam, for your official permission. I'm really lucky to know you all, and I think that'll be fun sometimes, especially if I can find more local music and get some permission from people. I'd love for this to be a show that kind of incorporates an element of sharing other people's art. My little avatar here on my this guy, my free spirit, that was in part a project that I wanted to build, like a social network that was artist collaboration back in the day. And I wanted to build a sort of network of bands that would support each other regionally and get to sort of travel and have a band from Salt Lake City, have a band from San Diego or Las Vegas, kind of close but far enough where you could like expand your reach a little bit, but still keeping it in these like intimate settings. And so a lot of those ideas I had back in the day, they fell apart due to various circumstances, but I'd love to somewhat revive that in a new way. So I would like to share more of the local music that I love, and share intimate conversations with people like CJ and Mark, they were both willing to discuss a little bit about recovery and, um, my interest in that specifically is in what gets us into these places where we feel like we need an escape. And, in this world, there's so much of this perception of like stigma and expectation of what you're supposed to do. And I think all that pressure can be cause for any of these self-defeating behaviors, and it doesn't have to exclusively be substance abuse. I think there's something underlying there that we can discuss as far as like psychology of it, and not so much the diagnoses in the mainstream psychology, but just in understanding ourselves and understanding our relationships with people, and that we can really fortify a good relationship with ourselves, and that begets strong relationships with others and can help us to avoid getting into these deep, dark places for too long, and one of the things Bruce McDonald has discussed is that depression isn't necessarily a bad thing all the time. But unfortunately, it can be something where, you're not willing to face yourself, and to really understand, like, well, maybe there's some things you like about that. And I think sometimes that's okay. Like, I was in hermit mode, and I think that was important for me. And to some degree, I still am in a hermit mode where I do really value my time alone, and I've been able to paint and write, and now get more into these streams as another outlet. And sometimes bad things really do inspire art in its various forms, and that's catharsis. And we do have to go through these kind of cyclical moments in our lives where the ups and downs give us the perspective of what's to be valued, and so anyway, I'd love to hear more of your thoughts on anything, really, because I'm very interested in all perspectives. And I thank you again for being here. Have a great night. Talk to you.